And suddenly the memory returns. The taste was that of the little crumb of Madeleine, which on Sunday mornings at Combray, because on those mornings I did not go out before church time, when I went to say good day to her in her bedroom, my Aunt Léonie used to give me, dipping it first in her own cup of real or of lime-flowered tea. The sight of the little Madeleine had recalled nothing to my mind before I tasted it, perhaps because I had so often seen such things in the interval, without tasting them, on the trays in pastry cooks' windows, that their image had dissociated itself from those Combray days, to take its place among others more recent. Perhaps because of those memories, so long abandoned and put out of mind, nothing now survived, everything was scattered. The forms of things, including that of the little scallop shell of pastry, so richly sensual under its severe, religious folds, were either obliterated or had been so long dormant as to have lost the power of expansion which would have allowed them to resume their place in my consciousness. But when, from a long distant past nothing subsists, after the people are dead, after the things are broken and scattered, still, alone, more fragile, but with more vitality, more unsubstantial, more persistent, more faithful, the smell and taste of things remain poised a long time, like souls, ready to remind us, waiting and hoping for their moment, amid the ruins of all the rest, and bear unfaltering, in the tiny and almost impalpable drop of their essence, the vast structure of recollection. And once I had recognized the taste of the crumb of Madeleine, soaked in her decoction of lime flowers, which my aunt used to give me, although I did not yet know, and must long postpone the discovery of why this memory made me so happy, immediately the old grey house upon the street, where her room was, rose up like the scenery of a theatre, to attach itself to the little pavilion, opening on to the garden, which had been built out behind it for my parents, the isolated panel, which until that moment had been all that I could see. And with the house, the town, from morning to night, and in all weathers, the square where I was sent before luncheon, the streets along which I used to run errands, the country roads we took when it was fine. And just as the Japanese amuse themselves by filling a porcelain bowl with water and steeping in it little crumbs of paper, which until then are without character or form, but, the moment they become wet, stretch themselves and bend, take on color and distinctive shape, become flowers or houses of people, permanent and recognizable. So in the moment all the flowers in our garden, and in Monsieur Swan's park, and the water lilies on the Vivonne, and the good folk of the village, and their little dwellings in the parish church, and the whole of Combray and all of its surroundings, taking their proper shapes, and growing solid, sprang into being, town and garden alike, from my cup of tea.